returning to the heart of the matter, the investigation I'm passionate about, the nature of oneself and other, looking at the perennial wisdom through the lens of Advaita Vedanta, or non-duality. Recently reading Upadesa Sahasrari by Shri Shankaracharya, which he is the father of non-duality, reworking the Upanishads and the Vedas, looking at the nature of being itself and that all is one. This is a monistic metaphysics. This is seeing everything as one unified whole. And this biological, physical entity that is speaking to you seems separate, just as we can identify incorrectly with the thing in the mirror that greets us each morning. The actual truth of our nature is the oneness, or the higher self, the spirit that infuses that meat bag, that meat suit, the biological entity that infuses it with life. Now, how do we move towards knowing our ultimate truth? To do it through the senses is going to be difficult, if not impossible, because knowledge comes in this limited form, in this empirical perspective of life through the senses, and they do not prove useful when we are wanting to connect with the truth of our being, our higher self. The method to become ontologically liberated, so to speak, the so-called enlightened state, is one of neti, via negativa approach. In other words, recognizing what is false. It's like looking for the proverbial needle in a haystack. There's several ways of approaching that. You can divide the haystack into thousands of small individual piles and using a magnifying glass try to find the needle through brute force and effort, or you can strike a match and set fire to the hay and burn away what is not the needle, of course revealing the needle itself. And this analogy only goes so far, of course, because in that situation the needle is a thing, an identifiable thing. What we're wanting to reveal here is no thing. So all we can do is burn away what is false. Disidentification with the objective nature of self and synthesizing pure subjectivity. And doing so involves recognizing what is false. Nothing beyond that is useful. So you use a neti approach and via negativa. Not this, not that. And so the idea that life is a combination of two factors, which is the physical and then the spiritual, or the body and the soul, is a dualistic approach to understanding our finite corporeal selves, the thing in the mirror. And it is useful to recognize that that is what is going on, that the animating force of life, the soul, doesn't belong to us. It's the soul is not in the body. The body is not the soul. Isokaya Namasata in ancient Buddhist terms. But that isn't denying the existence of the soul. It's just saying that the soul is not in the body. We do not have a soul. We are that thou art. That is the truth. And we cannot know that, but we can recognize what is false. We can see through the illusion of the self, through the illusion of identifying with the thing in the mirror. And that journey is one of purification. And more about that as we move forwards in further uploads on this channel.